this is the difference between a hobby and a calling.
Yeah.
A hobby will get you to a point where when you face any form of adversity, any form of opinion, any form of pushback, you will just push it to the side and give up. But when you've been divinely called, okay, there's a big difference now. Now it's like, I'm not doing this to please you. I please God, period.
Amen.
Period. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this because I've been called to do this. And oftentimes, what I recognize too is the people who have opinions are the ones who are not willing to put their own head on the chopping block.
Come on.
They're unwilling to put themselves out there in the public. They just love being behind the scenes and having their good old little opinions. That's fine. But I've been called to do this. And so, for the person who's been thinking about, man, I think God really has called me to this, just know that it's not always rainbows and unicorns, and you must know how to navigate through those things. I mean, we're talking about mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, it's a battle as it is already in a person's daily life. But to step into this is where I had to take a look at this as, this is not just something that I like to do, and it may have started off as that, but when it turns into, no, this is my calling,
Yeah.
this is my ministry, this is the way in which I'm going to reach people. I mean, I've received opinions from people who are like, "Oh, you're just doing this for the clicks and likes. Why do you say share or follow or subscribe for more?" Well, because if I'm going to reach the masses, I'm reaching the masses for Jesus. What would you rather me do? What would you like? You know nothing about social media. You've not even been a student of the game. You don't even know what's going to actually help grow. And the platform, and there's the thing, this platform is not my platform. Like, if God desires for me to throw it all away in an instant because his presence isn't there, I'm going to throw it away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I treat this digital space, and I got to constantly remind myself of this because I'm constantly, me being in this decaying body of flesh. I always got to battle between this fleshly portion of me, right? The doer, the achiever, the performer that wants to get things done, but the divine calling of me too. And there's this constant battle because I have to constantly remind myself, this is not my platform. If God told me right now to delete it all, I'm going to delete it all. Why? Because I follow him. I don't follow a person.
Yeah.
I don't follow people and man and what they have to say to me. So this is the kind of, I guess, mindset that somebody has to have when they walk into this space
Yeah.
of like, you're stepping into a space where you're literally living your life on display before people. And if you're courageous enough to do it and break through your mental barriers and challenges and the opinions of people, you just might impact a life significantly. Is it worth it to go through all of those opinions and stuff? I would say yes. I mean, over these last 4 years, there have been so many people who have said that they have been impacted in some way, shape, or I literally just got a message from somebody last night who said they watched the video that I made about how do you know you're going to go to heaven. They said, you said something about not being perfect. Well, I've been such a perfectionist all my life, and I've had to submit that to the Lord. That convicted me in that moment. Like, I I'm that's a person who goes in Notre Dame. Like, they're all the way out in the other side of the United States. So who am I to submit to people's opinions, bro? Now, I'll take constructive criticism.
Yes.
If there are people in my life that have earned the right to speak life into me or to give me, like my mom, for instance. My mom tells me, "Hey, Josiah, you need to like change this up. Maybe your flesh was showing during this part of this." I'm gonna take that and with a grain of salt, right? But yeah, for the person who's like been sitting on the fence, maybe worried about the opinions of others, like this, that you got to know, to do this, you got to be divinely called to do it. Otherwise, you're just going to have something that's built upon sand rather than the rock.
Amen, brother. And I even think about your comment on sharing. I've had people message me to say, "Hey, I found out about what you do from someone sending me one of your videos." So if I have to be in a place where someone's going to be mad if I ask someone to share a video in order to reach someone who would have never seen it. I will pay that price every day because, like you said, I am not here to please everyone. If I was, I would be a contradiction in every way, shape, or form, changing my opinion and my identity 24/7 to make sure everyone likes me, which at the same time, no one will end up liking me because they're always going to be changing how they feel too at the same time. So it's like, yeah, you got to stand firm in what you believe, but also at the same time, no, when we're in this space and we're talking about this space, we're working on our message. We're working on sharing something that we think can make a difference in the lives of someone else. And then we're also asking people to say, hey, if you want to root and you want to be a part of this community, help us get that message out because someone who you know might never see it. And if I've seen that and witnessed that, and you have too, I'm willing to do it because, again, I am here to please God. That's my purpose. I want to please God with my life. And pleasing him is doing what he's asking me and spending time with him and all those other things.